Drew, I'm a residential appraiser. I can come out and appraise your property and give you a value on it. And I also buy property. So if you have something you're wanting to move on the wholesale market without listing it, I can make you an offer on it and buy it direct.
And then tell them how to get in touch with you.
706-936-3766. Call or text.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. Its daily update on Bama sports, and it's brought to you by Everwood Treatment Company, the official treated lumber of Alabama athletics. Everwood, wood treated right. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. Here's more from Alabama basketball head coach Nate Oates following Alabama's Saturday win against Creighton.
It wasn't necessarily prettiest game at times, but I thought our guys resilient. We built the lead in the first half. We got to give Creighton a ton of credit. They kept hammering away. I think they finished the first half on a 21-10 run, so we didn't close like we needed to, but they're good. Kalkbrenner's one of the better bigs in the country. I mean, he's big, he's got size, you got to pay attention to him in the post. I thought we had a decent plan that we executed for the most part. So he still ended up with 18 points. Our pick and roll defense wasn't great. They exposed it there in the second half. We were trying to close the game. We gave up way too many threes. And, Ashworth's one of the better guards in the country, and we fell asleep on some stuff with him. Thought for large parts of the game we were good defensively, and then they're so explosive that in short stints you fall asleep and they make you pay.
I'll have more in a moment.
Producing championship quality lumber is not an easy process, but at Everwood Preserving, it's our only process. Wood treated right. Everwood offers top-notch pressure-treated wood for decks, outdoor structures, commercial jobs, and more that you can build your reputation on. When it comes to quality, we're on the winning team. Visit your local Everwood dealer today and discover the difference for yourself. Everwood Preserving Incorporated, the official lumber of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
If you missed last night's edition of Hey Coach, catch it on demand on the Alabama Insider podcast. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Everwood. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
All right, welcome back, welcome in. We are brand new. We are live. And we are talking ball. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Scott Theisen, Drew DeArmond. Welcome into the program on a Tuesday morning. Big thank you to everyone that took their time last night to come out to Flow Supreme Air Sports there on Drake Avenue. Just off of Drake Avenue, I should say. For our 97.7 ESPN, The Zone holiday listening party. Big thank you to Bubby's Diner for bringing all of that excellent food last night. What a night it was. We collected a lot of toys for the Toys for Tots Foundation. A lot of kids will be getting some Christmas gifts this Christmas. Thank you. Thank you to everybody that came out, and we look forward to doing it again next year. 256-576-4977. That's the number to the phone lines. You can be a part of the program this morning on a Tuesday morning. A Tuesday morning that sees us continuing to count down to the start of the college football playoffs. A good old month long of college football, and that'll be coming up on the horizon. Now, if you are intrigued by the bowl season, I remember back in the day, you used to have all of these bowl pick'em contests, and used to be just all. I remember when Iowa was playing in the bowl games, and you go back into the mid-'80s, early 80s, early 90s. I mean, Iowa would go to the Holiday Bowl, or they would go to slip in a Rose Bowl every 3-4 years under Hayden Fry. They'd get there. man, you'd have to have the Bulls shirt. You'd have to have something. You'd have to have all this stuff because it was a celebration. Now, you mentioned about going to a bowl game, and yeah, I will be going to the Music City Bowl to watch them play, but it just doesn't feel the same. I mean, I'm going because it's in Nashville. You don't get that same feeling about a bowl game as you once did because, number one, you don't know who's going to play. You don't know who's even going to be on the team. And it's just kind of like, at times. Well, tonight, the bowl season not begins, but it resumes because remember, South Alabama, they played Saturday in Montgomery. Gio Lopez, the starting quarterback for South Alabama from James Clemens, did not play in that ball game. He sat out because he was hurt. But tonight you get West Virginia and 25th ranked Memphis in the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. Memphis is a 4.5-point favorite. West Virginia has an interim coach because remember, Rich Rodriguez has taken over at West Virginia. And by the way, Rich Rodriguez's contract deal has come out. It's a 5-year deal, $18.5 million for Rich Rodriguez, the former Jack State head coach now. If he leaves for another job, he owes 25% of what remains in the deal in 90 days. If the school fires him, it owes Rich Rod 50% of what remains. And then West Virginia also paid his buyout at Jack State, which was $1.25 million. So that is tonight. West Virginia and 25th ranked Memphis, in case you even care about the bowl season or bowl games. Remember, it was South Alabama and Western Michigan. South Alabama got a 30-23 win in the Salute to Veterans Bowl. Coming up here in a little bit also, we will be giving away some prizes. We have wrapped 10 gifts. And if you attended the holiday party last night, you put your name in the drawing. And we have drawn 3 of those names for this morning. And what's going to happen is we will call you here. Bailey will call you in a little bit. And we will draw, or not draw, you get to pick a number between 1 and 10. Whatever the gift is, the number that you pick, that's what you're going to get. So if you pick number 7, we're going to unwrap number 7 for you, and that'll be your gift. So you're going to get something this morning. You could get Music City Bowl tickets. You could get Havoc tickets. You could get Trash Panda tickets. You could get golf. You could get food. We don't know. You're going to get something. But anyway, the countdown also does continue to the college football playoffs. On Saturday, Tennessee will take on Ohio State in the shoe. Ohio State is a 7-point favorite. Yesterday, Josh Heupel was asked, Drew, about playing in the cold.
It's a June day in South Dakota. It's going to be great football weather. A couple of weeks ago we played in 30-degree weather. We practiced in the morning, still chill. As cold as it will be around this area. And at the end of the day, you get between the white lines. Weather doesn't matter. The temperature doesn't. And we'll be ready to go play. It'll be a lot of fun.
I mean, they don't realize there's snow and cold temperatures in Knoxville, Tennessee. All of a sudden, you can't play in Ohio. I mean, give me a break.
I said this yesterday, that Ohio State doesn't play in 20-degree weather every game.
Heck no, they don't.
It's not something that is there all the time.
No, it's not. It's not there all the time. It's matter of fact, Ohio State's not there all the time. We'll see if they decide to show up and even play anyway. The check's clear.
Chip Kelly said, hey, that they've gone back and reviewed the Michigan film, and they didn't put their team in good position to beat the Wolverines.
They certainly didn't. They ought to give their checks back. Coaches especially. They sure as hell didn't earn the money.
Just give it all back.
Yeah. Dude, that's what these coaches have been doing, and they've been contributing it to their NIL funds. So maybe Ohio State ought to do that, even though they probably have the highest payroll in college football.
You bring that up, and you're not joking.
Right.
Mike Norvell is having to do that. Mike Norvell
He's
is
lucky
giving,
he has a job.
Mike Norvell is giving $4.5 million of next year's salary to fundraising efforts to Florida State. Now, it's all earmarked for the football program.
Of course.
But he is giving $4.5 million back in his restructured deal to Florida State.
That's what happens when you go 2-10. Heck, these coaches make enough money. You want more players, go help buy them. I mean, certainly Lane Kiffin's the biggest hypocrite in football. He's doing it.
But he said he questioned all the rules, but he said he's still going to go out and do it. I mean,
of course.
He said even last year, he said, we need to put guardrails on it, but until they do, we're going to take advantage of it.
Did they?
Well, I mean, they bought the players. They didn't buy the wins, but they bought the players.
Did they make the playoff?
No, they did not.
Have they ever?
No, they have not.
Have they won a national championship since they had like bars on the helmets?
I don't believe so.
That's what I thought. They're Ole Miss. So keep trying, though. Keep chopping. Keep trying to poach Alabama's players. We'll see.
So you take away. I'm trying to look at the field here for the college football playoffs, and I got to do this here on the fly. Let me pull up the bracket. You bring up a good, interesting point. So Clemson has won a national championship in the last decade.
Right.
I mean, Texas has. I mean, I guess you could say it has. Texas has as well. Yeah. I mean, would it be the decade that they won that one in? Arizona State, no. Oregon, no. SMU, Penn State, no. Boise State, no. Indiana, Notre Dame, no. Georgia, yes. So 1, 2, 3 teams at most of the 12 have won one within the last decade. That's it.
That's it.
Ohio State, Clemson, Texas, and Joe 4 for the 12.
Texas hasn't.
When was theirs? That was 2000.
A long, long time ago, 2005.
Okay, so we'll scratch them off the list.
Yeah. About 20 years ago, when Vince Young mattered.
Before he had his cup of coffee in the NFL.
Right.
And didn't matter.
Yeah.
Let's go out to Mark from Spring Hill. Good morning, Mark.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning.
Yeah, how y'all? Hey, I was going to ask y'all. I know y'all talked about this, after the playoffs were announced. But is it true that they can or cannot go back and get the seeding corrected as early as next year, so you don't have Boise and some of these teams at 4?
So they can do the seeding. That's the only thing that they can do. They cannot do the bye thing. They can do the seeding, but they can't do anything else. Pretty much everything is locked in.
Okay, so that would mean Boise would, in this case, and whatever the other team. There's another one too, but basically,
there would still be the automatic qualifiers. There would still be a group of 5 qualifier.
Yes.
But they could redo the seeding process.
Yes, that's the only thing that they can go and do.
Right.
All right, that's an easy fix, because, and I do think, I think the committee would be smart if they did have a computer element to the human element, have both. And I don't know if the BCS. I can't remember exactly how the BCS did it. Right, it's been too long ago now. But I would love to see a strength of schedule. Sort of a number that's there that rewards the teams that played and it would of course help the SEC, but and it should help in all the conferences if you're worth anything. So hopefully that will improve that. And then the other thing I was going to ask you guys is I don't remember an Alabama player that is what I would consider a draft prospect who has sat out under Coach Saban.
There's been a couple.
Do you
Terrell
Who
Lewis
are
and
they?
Trevon Diggs both sat out the Citrus Bowl that I went to cover. They did not. They didn't. Neither one of them played in that game. They both opted out. And Alabama won the Citrus Bowl impressively over Michigan in 2019 in Orlando, but they both opted out. That's been the two guys that have done so. And now you have some opt-outs in theory because Alabama's had 14 guys going to the transfer portal. And who could, we'll see if that number stays that way later today. But again, as of right now, they have 14 guys in the portal, and none of those guys will play in the bowl game. And the same thing happened in 22. Like they didn't have any starters opt out in that Sugar Bowl route of Kansas State. But for example, I think they only had 5 or 6 offensive linemen available I think it's maybe 6. They had one bench guy available in that 2022 Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, and all the rest of the backup offensive linemen went into the transfer portal. So they've had, as far as before the portal was a big thing, it wasn't a big thing in 2019, but they were still people opting out, and Terrell Lewis, who I think went in the 3rd round, and then Trevon Diggs, who I believe went in round 2, they both opted out of the bowl game, and both made the right decisions. Both ended up being draft picks, and I think Trevon certainly had a really good NFL career. I think Terrell Lewis is still with the Rams, but both those guys did not play in what would have been their final game at Alabama.
Let me ask you this. I appreciate that. I guess I remember people like Bryce Young and
this was even before Bryce. Yeah.
But I always like it when you see a player like a Jalen. I'm sure unless something's changed, is Jalen playing in this game coming up?
Jalen Milroe?
Milroe.
Yeah. We played his clip on Friday of last week. He met the media on Thursday of last week.
Yeah.
And said, yes, he is playing in this game. There is no doubt about it. He is playing.
Yeah, he's playing. Tyler Booker had already said even before the Iron Bowl and that he was going to play no matter what happened to the Alabama in the postseason. In other words, if they were in the playoff, of course, and if they were not, so he's playing in the game. So as far as we know, except for the guys that have entered the transfer portal, and none of them, except for Devontae Smith, the only one you can say started the majority of the season is Devontae Smith, and his situation is a little different because he's a grad transfer. In other words, he's already got a degree in hand. So if you are a grad transfer, this has been happening for about over a decade now. You can go somewhere else. As long as you have your degree in hand, you can go anywhere in the country. And he's about to have a child. His girlfriend is back in Cincinnati. And he's not eligible to play in the playoff with Notre Dame.
Right.
But he'll be enrolling at Notre Dame and be using his final year of eligibility, which is, basically a COVID year because he did redshirt early in his career. So he's going to use his final year of eligibility at Notre Dame and decided to move on.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a great show as always, and it's always good to hear you every morning.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Appreciate it.
Mark asked, and Mark said, hey, maybe we should put a computer element back into the college playoffs.
Like
and he
the
wondered,
BCS system.
There were 6 computer ranking systems back in the day that used the BCS. That's how the BCS was formulated. It was 6. We had the Jeff Sagarin poll, the Anderson and Hester poll, the Billingsley report, the Kenneth Massey poll, the Dr. Peter Wolf system, and the Colley Matrix poll, which is the Wes Colley Matrix, and Wes Colley is from UAH. So that was in 1998. The computer rankings were used in conjunction with 2 human polls. They used the AP poll and the coaches poll as a part of the BCS.
Right.
So it had a mix. It had a heavy computer mix and a heavy human element mix.
Yeah.
Now we just use the human element mix to determine the college football playoffs. We don't use the polls. We use guys and gals sitting around a conference table analyzing everything.
Yeah.
Is there a – can they –
Well, they talk out of both sides of their mouths. The problem is Mark brought up he wanted a strength of schedule component. There was supposed to be one this year.
Right.
And Ward Manuel, who is leading in the clubhouse for Moron of the Year, talked about there was a scheduling component the entire time that they were looking at a strength of schedule, and then turn around and put SMU in the playoffs with a 70 strength of schedule because they lost a great high-level football game, he said, against Clemson, who lost to Georgia by 30 points. And SMU had no top 25 wins and beat absolutely nobody.
By the way, the Moron of the Year award show is less than a week away.
Yeah.
We will have that show next Monday when we fry a turkey live on air.
We are frying it live on the air.
We are frying a turkey live on air from the garage of one of our listeners.
Yes, we are.
We're packing up everything. We are doing.
We're packing up the truckster, and we're going to be on. Probably inside a garage or maybe on the deck or who knows where.
I don't know where. I guess
we
you
don't
really
know.
I don't think you could fry a turkey. I don't think it's smart to fry one
No,
in a
I
garage.
mean, sir, I wouldn't think so. We might be out on the back deck. I haven't checked the weather though. If it rains, we're gonna have a backup plan.
I think next Monday.
Yeah.
I am not a weather person.
Correct.
Nor did I play one on TV.
I understand.
But it's supposed to be. Well, we could be freezing. We could. You better.
Oh,
you
man.
better dress a little warm.
I got some sweats on this morning.
You may need more than that. You may need to get the long johns
on.
The low on Monday is 28.
Look out!
We're gonna be frying a twink.
Dang car will still be frozen.
We're gonna be frying a turkey in Antarctica.
Well,
it's gonna be cold. All right, we got to
We got to find some heat somewhere. We had some heaters last night in Flow Trampoline Park, and we appreciated that.
We got to get a break in. When we come back, we're gonna start doing some holiday gift giving. Yep, we're gonna hand out some gifts when we come back.
The 97.7 there's only 10 days of Christmas. Is that what this is? Is there 10 prizes?
There's 10 prizes, and we're gonna give away 3 of them.
Okay.
All right, we're doing it next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Got a wreck at Greenbrier Parkway and Old Highway 20. Sounds like it ended up being a no injury. They first paged it out with injury and possible entrapment. Had one 565 westbound at Wall Triana that should be clear now. And the fog's still a problem this morning, especially if you got a long way to go. If you're headed down I-65, you're going to find some thick fog in some areas. From routine care to heart failure, Dr. Randall Burns and the team at Huntsville Heart Specialist on Bob Wallace have the expertise to care for all matters of the heart. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Flying nonstop from Huntsville is a breeze on Breeze Airways. They're nice people, flying nice people to nice places on really nice planes. Let's be direct. Nonstop from Huntsville to the places you want to go. Las Vegas, Orlando, or Tampa starting at $49. It's time for a weekend getaway or a long overdue week away. Time to check in using the convenient Breeze app and check out. What are you waiting for? Book today at flybreeze.com. That's flybreeze.com. Breeze Airways. Seriously nice.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
You'll love the expanded wine selection at Liquor Express. From special occasion to everyday table wines, they've got what you need. Meet your friends at the largest tap wall in Alabama with 105 rotating selections. Then take home a growler full of your favorite or choose from our 1,000 canned or bottled beers. Need help stocking your bar or planning your party? Liquor Express has a knowledgeable, professional in-house staff that can assist you with anything from your bar to the planning of your special event. Visit liquorexpress.net for tasting specials, giveaways, and classes.
Oftentimes, the wheelchairs our veterans and first responders receive from their healthcare providers are subpar at best. Some are falling apart with a years-long waiting list for a new one. This lag causes a tremendous amount of stress for our heroes and creates a burden for their caregivers. Isolation leads to depression. We build what they need to get outdoors, hunting, fishing, or playing sports. Join the mission at wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
All right, welcome back. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. Time for us to hopefully make somebody's shopping a little easier, because it's time for us to give away some Christmas gifts.
Yep.
If you were at our holiday party last night, you got to put your name in a little box.
And we appreciate everybody for coming out. We appreciate Bubby's Diner for the catering.
Oh man, I got some food at home, by the way.
It was another great event. A lot of people brought toys by. Met a lot of our listeners. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate all the folks coming out. Hunter Royer and we get Grady the Greek. If anybody wanted to meet a celebrity last night, he was out there.
He was running around though. He and his friends took like 10 minutes to eat.
I mean, yeah, I know he had to bring the crew, man. He always brings the crew, and they certainly burned off all the calories. We appreciate our all of our good friends that just decided to be a part of it. I mean, Jimmy Lay came out and also contributed, and he had to go to another event he does a great job for Westminster Christian Academy, but he came out and did it. And so, I mean, I just got to really commend him and all of our listeners who came out and were a part of it.
All right, so here's how it worked. You put your name in the little box last night. We've drawn some names out. We've drawn 10 names. And what it is we're going to call you. Once we get you on the phone, then you're going to pick a number between 1 and 10. We've got 10 gifts wrapped here at 97.7. It could be Music City Bowl tickets. It could be Havoc tickets, Trash Panda tickets. We don't know what it is. Drew's going to unwrap a gift for you after you say the number. And that is what you're going to say. You're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. You're going to pick numbers 1 through 10. Or 1, yeah, there you go. So on the line with us is Strawberry. He was there last night, attended the party with his family.
Yes, he did.
He did. Welcome in, sir.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, man?
Doing good. Y'all surprised me with a phone call this morning.
Well, we wake people up. We fry turkeys and we wake people up. That's what we do.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, yeah.
But here's how it works. You get to pick a number between 1 and 10, and Drew is going to unwrap that number for you, and that'll be your prize. So,
let me go with 5.
Number 5.
Okay, let me find 5 here. We're not in numerical order here, so
we didn't do this.
I don't know what Scott did, man.
I didn't do anything.
He just 5 right here.
All right, unwrap it up. What is number 5?
Trash Pandas tickets.
Oh, there you go.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
There you go. Huntsville or Rocket City Trash Panda
I mean,
tickets.
they draft Tennessee baseball players, and, they give away autographed baseballs. I believe Christian Moore was there. So
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, Steve-O. Yeah, we're about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Trash Pandas tickets, everybody.
All right. There we go.
That's awesome. Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
Yep, there you go. Congrats, Strawberry, you and your family.
All right. All right. We will we'll let you know how to get a hold of all those here, because I imagine definitely They're not playing right now, so.
Well, I mean, pretty cool though. I thought I was supposed to open the. I'm glad I looked on the back. I was about to open the envelope and take out the prize for everybody, but everything's been identified. So
It's
there
right
you go.
there for you.
There you go.
You just have to read it.
Trash Panda tickets.
Thanks, Strawberry.
And we got to give away 2 more prizes during the show.
We will.
Too,
We'll give away 2 more. We got 2 more to do during the show. Let's go out to the phone lines. Let's stay out there. Brandon is with us this morning. Good morning, Brandon.
Morning, Brandon.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
Need to add a nomination for MOY.
Yeah.
Doug Show's, dude. He needs to stay up.
Uh-oh.
He went Doug Shows is what he did.
Officiating.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Doug
Brandon
was there for the Creighton game.
Yeah, and Brandon and his family were as well. I mean, he went down for the Creighton game, and I think when they always announce the officials before the game. I think it was the first time Alabama's had Doug Shows this year because I always check and see who the officials are. They've had Terrence Oglesby a bunch and Joe Lindsey, these guys, but as soon as they announced it, I thought that was the first time that they had Doug Shows all year. So.
All right. 256-576-4977. Coming up here in a little bit, Frankie Sullivan will join the show.
Yep.
And Maurice Ford will join the show, and then Alex Scarborough will join at the bottom of the hour. I saw it's 7:29. We are going to have to get a break here in a minute, but it's just coming out, and we will have some Auburn transfer portal news because they got a quarterback.
Multiple quarterbacks
yesterday, but a few minutes ago, they did get another left tackle out of USC as Mason Murphy, who has played for USC. I believe he started a handful of games, if not most of the games, for the Trojans along the offensive line this past season. He will end up in Auburn as well. So we'll fill you in more on that news. We'll fill you more in on another quarterback news. And we've got other transfer portal news of who's coming in, coming up in a little bit. But let's get a break in because when we come back, Frankie Sullivan, head coach of the James Clemens Jets, will join us as we continue our Rocket City. Well, it's the Huntsville City Classic preview coming up next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. Scattered showers remain in the forecast for this Tuesday night. Otherwise, we'll sit under mostly clouds. Low temperatures fall into the upper 50s for the overnight. Heading into our Wednesday, rain stays in the forecast. Expect off and on rounds of showers throughout the day. High temperatures warming into the mid-60s for the afternoon. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Had a wreck on 565 westbound near Wall Triana that should be completely gone. And we've got one Greenbrier Parkway and Old Highway 20 reported with injury and possible entrapment. I think they canceled all the response on that one, but they may still be trying to get it cleared up. Dr. Sandman has the Somnodent, a safe, insurance-approved alternative for snoring and sleep apnea. Dr. Randall Sandlin, 350-CARE. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Ho, ho, ho! Bob Baumhauer here. Need a stocking stuffer for this Christmas? We've got you covered at Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Surprise everyone in the house this year as they empty their Christmas stockings to find our popular gift cards. Now, through December 24th, you'll receive a $5 bonus card with every $25 gift card purchase. So put a Christmas smile on everyone's face with these great stocking stuffers. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food. Merry Christmas!
Your home of the Crimson Tide Sports Network.
You chill out when you're supposed to chill out. You work when you're supposed to work. You don't chill out when you're supposed to be working.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
All right, welcome back. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. Welcome back in on a Tuesday morning, 7:32. As we talked about yesterday, we started kicking off our previews for the 42nd Annual Huntsville City Classic, a basketball tournament unlike any other. It'll get started on December 26th.
Yep.
We will have the quarterfinals and the semifinals on the 27th and the finals on the 28th. We, 97.7 ESPN The Zone, will broadcast the quarterfinals, the semifinals, the third-place game, and the championship game. So we will be your home for this year's Huntsville City Classic. And coming up on the 26th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you will have the James Clemens Jets taking on Fairfield.
Yeah, this is a very, very high-level matchup. First of all, the Fairfield Tigers, defending state champions. Maurice Ford has done an amazing job. He won the 4A title a year ago. They're an outstanding program, but our next guest, he's it's already, man, it's hard to believe, but he came to our community and was an assistant under Hall of Fame coach Danny Petty at James Clemens High School. Before that, he was on the support staff for Bruce Pearl at the Auburn Tigers. He was an all-SEC guard for Auburn. He was a state champion, scored 50 points in a state tournament game for R.C. Hatch, his alma mater. So he's had a lot of success throughout his playing and coaching career. He's reached the state championship game with the James Clemens Jets, done an amazing job for them. But it's hard to believe, though, this is year 6 already for our next guest. His team is coming off of a championship game appearance already this season in the Into Hoops Invitational that was played this year at Sparkman High School. And, of course, we're talking about Frankie Sullivan. And he's been kind enough to join us and talk some Jets basketball this morning on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach, good morning. You're with Drew and Scott. How are you, sir?
Good morning. How you doing, sir? Thank you for having me on right now. Just trying to get going this morning. Trying to get going.
Coach, does it feel like it's year 6 already?
Crazy.
It really does not. I was talking to my wife about it a couple weeks ago, that it's the year 6, and it's fly by when you're actually working, doing some work. So, and putting in it with kids, it's a good time, though. It don't feel like it. I think that's a great thing that you're in the game for 6 years, and it doesn't feel like you've been doing it for 6 years. It feels like it's day one. So I enjoy it.
Yeah, no doubt. And each year, each team takes on a different identity. But your playing career for R.C. Hatch and Eugene Mason, and it was always built around defense and toughness. That's how you've built your program here at James Clemens. And I know you guys made a really nice run into the finals of the Into Hoops Invitational. How has the season gone to this point for you with this team, kind of molding its identity, Coach?
It's been going pretty well. We're 10-5 right now. All 5 losses that we have, I think we deserve them. Just not executing game plans in those games. That comes with a young team. Once again, you can have juniors and seniors in your team, but have inexperience on the court, and it showed in big games. So when we come out, we just got to do a better job of executing the game plan, and I think we did the last 2 games against Hewitt Trussville and also Austin. So who's also 2 really good teams in 7A. So like you're talking about playing some really high level basketball all the time, and my guys finally understanding that. So they're buying into what we're doing as a culture, and that's defense, like you said. That's my main thing: playing defense and rebounding the basketball.
Yeah, has that team taken on that identity, that physical defensive identity yet?
Yes, we started to pick it up. I think after the Into Hoops, it was an eye opener for us in so many ways, and then making sure that we just we hop on in practice. Like I also been out for a couple months, so not as much engaged in practice because of my accident. So like now that I'm back full throttle, we're definitely picking it back up.
No question, and Coach, I know you guys. Are a physical front line, especially. You play physical basketball. What, in your mind, what has been the strength of this team thus far now that you've already played 15 games? Because the crazy part is you can play 30 games max in a regular season, so you're already at the halfway point. what's kind of what as far as how have you seen the roles being defined on your team thus far?
I think it's the family atmosphere that the guys have for one another, the accountability, holding each other accountable not only in games but in practice and in the classroom. So like that right there every year, when I start to see that tide turn for us, that also makes us a very, very good ball club on the court. So those guys are holding each other accountable every single day. Like right now I'm having an interview and they're having practice and going through the game plan, watching on film, but they're doing the game plan right now on their own. So like having accountability from my older guys that've been through the fire, that's helping us out a whole lot. It's starting to turn this corner right now. We're going to the second half of the season.
I want to go back to something you said just a minute ago. Your accident, Coach. You said you were out for a while. Are you okay? Were you okay? And are you okay?
Yeah, I had I'm a motorcycle rider, so I had a motorcycle incident on October 13th. Caused me to dislocate my ankle at the bone at the skin, and I had 2 surgeries, so I'm back now. I started walking 3 days ago, so I got a little limp going, but I'm back walking. So it's been progressing faster than I thought it was going to be. So it's a blessing I'm still here, but that's neither here nor there when it comes to that. I know a lot of people have a lot to say about motorcycle accidents and people riding them, but you can die in a car too. So
no, I mean,
I'm just glad you're okay.
He was showing that toughness. He was on a scooter on the sidelines at the N2 hoops. Like I did not know about this accident. So
yeah.
I did not know Coach Sullivan was he had been laid up until I saw him at the N2 hoops. So yes, he was. I can assure you that he was on a scooter. Glad to hear that you're back walking, that you're okay. You're braver than me. I've never been on a motorcycle, so that wouldn't be.
I don't.
That's not something that I would partake in.
I don't have the coordination.
Yeah,
I just
Scott's 6'6". I don't know that would go all that well.
Yeah, no, just get you a Harley Davidson, have courses over to take the Harley Davidson courses, man. You'll love the ride.
See me pulling up in a Harley.
Oh
no.
Oh
No. But Coach, you're playing back in the Huntsville City Classic again, and you're opening up with Fairfield. And you mentioned you were in the N2 Hoops.
Right.
You learned a lot about your team playing in the N2 Hoops Invitational. Is it now that this is the second big tournament, you really don't want to go in it and try to have to learn about your team? You hope that you've learned from that and that you can make a run in this one?
Yeah, I think we have learned from it. Like you can tell, like it changes in practice, and then you've been coaching long enough, and I think I have. You can see the changing, the attention to detail. The guys pay attention in practice. So I think we'll do pretty good. And like I said, once again, competition is competition. Fairfield is going to be a great ball club, man. Like Coach Ford does a great job, and it's hard to beat a state championship team who is returning 4 to 5 starters, and then he also picked up a couple pieces that transferred in. We played them earlier this season. I think lost by 8 or 9 to them earlier in the season, and then that's with him without those 2 pieces that he was missing. So I know that it's going to be a really tough game, but game planning once again will be much better this time around. Now that we have seen them play and know the style of play, and it's going to be a physical game. So we'll see how it goes. Definitely a battle of who wants it more.
Yeah, no question. I mean, and there's nothing. That's kind of how I define this year's City Classic. Tournament director Mac Howard, he set up a lot of great first round matchups. I mean, these are sometimes these are kind of games that you would see maybe in the semifinals. Even in a championship game. So, and as you previously mentioned, so you guys have already seen Fairfield this year, you're saying?
Yes, sir, we have. They play, like I said, really physically. And also, that, like I said, I truly believe going to Birmingham and playing Birmingham, if you know anything about it, you're down 15, 20 when you walk in the gym, but that's just the nature of the beast, and that's why I go down there and play so much. I like adversity. I love my kids to feel it early in the season. I'm not too big on records when it comes down to the first half of the season because it's just like anything else. It's all about conference play because you can go in and win 20, 30 games and then lose the first round of conference play, and then now you're in trouble. So we want to continue to grow, and then this time we see Fairfield give a better running of how to play the game.
Coach, kind of talk about your team. We sit down to watch it at the Classic. Who's going to kind of stand out?
Well, Scott, and you get to see his best player last year, Bryce Mason, who had a great senior year, is at UAH right now as part of Mick Gillespie, or I knew I'd do that.
Mick Hedgepeth.
I knew I'd do that. Mick Hedgepeth, part of his program. But I know London Townsend, he had a really good N2 hoops.
Yes.
He's a guy that's kind of grown into that role that Bryce had for you, which, he was the guy you kind of looked to down the stretch for buckets and to lead you in scoring. And it looks like to me that London's kind of grown into that role this year, Coach.
Yes, absolutely. London has emerged as our leading scorer. But also, like I said, once again, he's holding the guys accountable in practice. You got London Townsend, you got Noah Gorman, who's shooting the cover off the ball right now. Had a down game against Huntsville into hoops, but he bounced back from that quite well. And Sato Yokota, he's just one of those guys who's just a glue guy for me, man. He just does everything, on-ball defense, and just the small, minute things that people don't pay attention to. That's what Sato does for us. And also Isaiah just running the show for us and being tough with the ball. So, like I said, we have a bunch of guys that just stepping up and playing a role. And then Alexander Blue, like all my starters right now are doing exactly what I need them to do. And then the bench has helped us out a whole lot. And we've got a couple guys that's starting to merge into their own and playing their role and doing their role. So it's going to help us out a whole lot, I think, going into the Huntsville City Class. Like I said, it's a great tournament. We're happy to be in the tournament. Once again, like it's great competition. If you're looking to get your kids scouted or getting them a scholarship, I think there's no better way to get them that right now at this point in time in Alabama than the Huntsville Times.
Sum up what playing in that means.
It gives you a sense of pride for the city for being in Huntsville, and also it gives you a sense of just enjoyment of watching good basketball from some of the better teams in the state of Alabama in one gym at one time. That you just don't get every single week or every single day. So once you get that, just playing in terms of watching good basketball, man, I don't care if we're playing or not. I like watching good basketball. You're going to get that from day one until the end of into the championship game. So I love playing into hoops and the Huntsville Times. The Huntsville Times I heard about it before I got up here and I experienced it. It is exactly what people did. It's actually better than what people said it was.
Well, and I know as far as your team in 7A Area 8, you mentioned earlier in the conversation, you guys have started area play earlier. You just mentioned playing the Austin Black Bears. I know we talked to Dylan Burleson, one of your area opponents, yesterday. He was talking about the Florence Falcons. How many area games have you played, Coach, and how has area play started for the James Clemens Jets?
We're 1-1. We lost at Florence, and we beat Austin at home. Right now, it's back to 0-0 because everybody beat everybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's tied up, but that's the thing about it. That's how it's going to be on our side right now because it's just great competition, great players coming out night in and night out. So like once again, I think it's going to come down to the wire. I know this though. You don't want to be the number 4 team. I know that much.
Well, no, because you're going to be playing on somebody's home floor.
Home floor the first game, and you don't want them problems. And that's the thing that we're trying to avoid right now. Just getting into the 1 or 2 seed to make sure that we handle our business on our end. And not making excuses for why we're not performing. So that's all on us, and we can control that outcome of how the game goes. So this season will be very, very tough for us to cover plays, but I think it'll be pretty good.
Well, and I know it always helps to have seen a team and played them. How motivated are your kids going to be to maybe get another shot at the Fairfield Tigers? And let me correct something. They won the state title. It was actually 5A. They've moved down to 4A this year. They won the 5A title a year ago for Maurice Ford, who'll join us in a few minutes. But you saw them already in Birmingham. But how motivated are they maybe to get another shot out on a neutral court, Coach?
Oh, yeah, they're going to be fired up, man. They felt like down there we didn't play our best ball. And then I know Coach Ford is going to talk about his guys not being there to play their best ball. But it's gonna be a really good game. I'm excited for it. I know I'm juiced up about it. So I called and talked to Coach Ford. I was saying one of my mentors. I talked trash to him about the game. I told him I wasn't there. That's why they won. So this time I'll be there on the sideline, and I look for a different outcome.
Yeah, I mean it's
been good. And hey, your alma mater's playing pretty well right now as well.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Oh my God. I know we said a couple years ago we made the Final Four run, got a bad bounce on the ball with that situation, but this year it really looks like a national championship team. That how deep Coach Pearl can go on the bench, and Janai Broom is just playing out his mind right now. You got a guy like that that's anchoring your offense and defense. It's gonna be hard to beat, man. And the guys are playing so well defensively. Once again, I tell kids all the time, defense travels, and they're traveling everywhere. So like they're playing really, really well right now.
Yeah, well, if James Clemens Jets are to, make a deep run into the Classic, what are a couple of things you guys are going to have to do well in order to, advance past Fairfield? Or even, see, the thing about this tournament that makes it so unique, you're guaranteed 3 games now, but even we've had great teams like the Buckhorn Bucks are the 2-time 6A champs who have not got out of the first round and had to make runs in the consolation bracket. The consolation bracket can also be a way for your team to get better. And it's a lot of times that I've seen it happen many, many times. This will be my 35th year doing this, that state champions, sometimes you remember they ended up being the consolation champion in the Classic.
Yeah. That's when it comes, like I said, once again, the competition is so high level there that playing any night over there is still going to be good ball games for you. So you're going to get better playing, like you said, playing Buckhorn, whoever you play. With us, we just want to advance as much as we possibly can. It's going to be tough to beat Fairfield. I think we can once we lock in and do what we need to do. But for us, it's going to be defense and rebounding. If we can defensively stay in front of people, move our feet, and then also rebound the basketball, offensively, I think we can handle enough. Because, like, right now, you don't have too many teams scoring an 80, 90 mark every single night. So you can put some points on the board, but, like, defensively, you generate great offense for us. So defensively for us, that's going to be our key.
The James Clemens Jets, 10-5, 1-1 in 7A Area 8. Sixth-year coach Frankie Sullivan has been our guest, and we're glad that he's going to be healthy and return hopefully to normal. And thank the Lord. I mean, hey, like I said, my cousin had a dirt bike when he was growing up, but that was something I never was motivated to try.
I had a Honda 70 at one time.
Did you
it
really?
didn't last very long.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No,
well, Scott did ride a bike.
it.
But, not me, but Frankie Sullivan, Godspeed. Glad you're better, and look forward to seeing you in a few days over at Huntsville High. But thank you for joining us and talking some Jets basketball on a busy morning, but we appreciate the time, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's get a break in. I tell you what, when we come back, let's give away another Christmas gift, shall we?
Here we go.
We'll unwrap another one coming up next.
I feel like a Griswold.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Got a wreck on Winchester near Homer Nance. That one's got some westbound blockage. They reported it as an injury time, but it looks like they've canceled Himsey. Still got some fog this morning. If you got a long way to go, I'd budget some extra time because of that. With more than 30 years experience, D&L Refrigeration can save you money on those heating and air conditioning repairs. 256-652-1207. State license 08091. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
It all comes back to money.
Visit our store right now at zonedeals.bigdealsmedia.net to take advantage of all the best deals in the Tennessee Valley. Or just go to our website, 977ESPN.com, and click on the Zone Deals logo to start saving right now.
Now, as to the price.
These deals won't last long, so get yours now. Zone Deals. You'll thank us later.
A man who could easily afford to buy a vowel.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10-plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead, ran away, and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
The Drive.
You know, both those guys have done a good job in what we've asked them to do, and both of them have developed nicely, and both of them have consistently made plays.
Wes and Steve.
Their decision-making, their judgment, Their ability not to force things and take what the defense gives and distribute the ball with good decision making, down in, down out, is probably the only thing that's going to be any different about them, because it's not physical ability or talent. So it's intangibles, leadership, decision making, judgment, and all those types of things. And both guys have done a good job in that regard as well.
Listen to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton each weekday afternoon starting at 5. We are your home of ESPN Radio, 97.7 The Zone. This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
That's a good little one right there. Oh my,
Yeah.
that's a good one. That gets us back in. 7:53 on a Tuesday morning. Welcome back. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. And we've been giving away Christmas gifts all morning.
Right.
And here's how it works.
Got 9 left.
We got 9 lives left.
Yeah.
And,
oh, Lord.
And I know. And here's how it works. All you got to do is, if you attended the party last night, we've drawn names. And you're going to pick a number.
And we're cold calling people.
Yeah, we're just cold calling them. We're waking them up in the morning. Get your ass up, Fred. We're getting you up, but you're going to pick a number between 1 and 10. Now, what was it? What did Strawberry pick?
5.
5. So 5 is gone.
Now, I had to find. Now that it's like you shuffled these like
Yes.
cards. So I had to find them.
Those were there. I came in this morning, and that's how they work.
Okay.
So 5 is gone.
Right.
So you can pick
No
numbers
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10.
Yeah.
We will unwrap the gift for you, and that is what you're going to get.
I'll just flip the card over like we're playing the freeze.
Okay.
I had to do that, man. Come on.
You don't have to win a game show to call Talent Heating and Air. Just give them a call today. Let's go out to
like Card Sharks.
My cousin, is that who we said? My cousin Vinny is with us.
What's up?
What's going on, boys?
How we doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Hey, Drew, I got to tell you something if you got just a moment.
Sure.
My girlfriend and I attended the
Yes, you did.
party last night.
Yes,
Yeah, and
yes.
we were sitting down at the same table a little ways from you. You were talking to a group of gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
And
I saw you
talk-
guys. Yes.
And my girlfriend looks at me. She goes, "That guy's pretty smart. He knows his football."
Well,
I
cool.
said, "Well, that's Drew DeArmond. Yeah, he does." And anyway, I think you have a new groupie, Drew.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I appreciate
Yeah.
her. I hope she listened this morning.
You have a new fan.
Okay,
So
sweet.
anyway, I thought that was pretty cool.
All right.
All right. So let's pick a number between you can pick number 1,
No
2,
5.
3, 4. Yeah,
You have them at 5.
1 through 10, but 5 has already been taken.
Yep.
Okay, let's take number 1.
Number 1. Here we go.
Who's gonna unwrap number 1 for you? And it is.
I don't know. Hold on, man. I'm having to figure this out.
Unwrap
here.
it. Let's go.
Good Lord. I think it's on the. Where the heck is it?
It's in there somewhere because
I
it hasn't been
hope.
taken.
I just got to flip through all these things like Card Sharks here. Scott, I hope you actually. Yeah,
There
here we go. Stick it
Here
together.
we go. Number 1 is.
And it is golf for 2 in a cart at Cherokee Ridge. What a prize.
Woo!
Wow, that is a great prize.
It's
there
amazing.
you go.
Yeah, that's $150 value down there. That's great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. That's that. There you
Beautiful
go.
course.
Well, thank you for attending last night, though. Thank you for coming out to flow.
Yeah,
It was a lot of fun.
It was. It was a lot of fun, a lot of great fellowship. And again, you're winning a great prize. I mean, Scott and I have been out there several times to Cherokee Ridge, and Scott's played the course. And
Pete Sands will take excellent care of you.
And he's got a new superintendent, man. They're putting in the work, and they've even got a virtual reality setup. You go down there and you go into what I call it the basement or the dungeon, but it ain't gonna
call it a dungeon.
No, but it's not. It's gonna look great though. I mean, you can already see it kind of taking shape. It's actually pretty cool to go down there.
Yeah, but anyway,
and see what's going on.
All right. Well, my pleasure. Guys, thanks a million. I appreciate it. It was really fun last.
All right, right hand.
Thank you. Yeah, there you go.
My cousin Benny.
All right, Bailey. We'll get him taken care of as well. So we got one more to do. We'll do that in the second hour. And,
Heck, I was getting scared there for a second. I thought, Scott, what happened to one, man? Did it disappear?
It didn't disappear. It's right there.
I thought it was sleeping with the fishes. I don't know.
Waste management there?
Yeah, I don't know. Some racketeering going on. Oh, Lord.
I don't even know what the hell this show is today.
Oh, I thought you were saying the S word. I'm like, it wasn't me. Don't
something.
blame me.
It's something today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, coming up here, top of the hour, we will talk more Huntsville City Classic basketball.
First time since 2019 the Fairfield Tigers going to be here, and Maurice Ford has won 2 state championships at Fairfield. Man, he's done a great job. Won the 5A title last year. He's done an amazing job in his career as a coach, reaching the state Final Four at Parker High School, playing in the state title game, doing it here in our community at Johnson. He reached the finals. Wherever he's gone, winning has followed, and he's definitely a Hall of Famer.
Maurice Ford will dial in. We've paid the phone bill. We're going to use it next. Coming up, Maurice Ford, Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. This Action Update is brought to you by G-Bank. Earn cashback rewards on every eligible gaming transaction. VSiN.com/GBank.
NBA Cup Finals tonight at T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. The Oklahoma City Thunder favored by 5.5 against the Milwaukee Bucks. The Thunder on top of the Western Conference, winners in 5 straight and 9 of 10. Milwaukee's 5th in the East, wins in 8 of 10 and 3 in a row. The Bucks plus 170 on the money line tonight. The over/under's 215.5. Monday Night Football, the Vikings beat the Bears 30-12. That pulls Minnesota into an NFC North tie with the Lions. The Falcons beat the Raiders 15-9. Right now, Buffalo the favorite in the AFC at plus 185 with Kansas City at plus 200. The NFC Conference winner favorite plus 185 Philadelphia with the plus 200 Lions right behind them. That's the VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. I'm Chuck Sanders.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Welcome back. Hour 2 of Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Hour 2 helping us is SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, dedicated to providing care that improves lives. They are the official training providers for the UAH Chargers. And don't forget, coming up on Thursday and Saturday this week, we will have UAH Charger basketball for you. Mississippi College and Delta State making their way to Spraggins Hall Thursday and Friday. 97.7 ESPN The Zone will have those covered for you. We will also have the 42nd edition of the Huntsville City Classic nailed down for you as well. Again, the tournament gets underway on the 26th of December. Quarterfinals and semifinals on the 27th. Third place game, championship game on the 28th. There's more games there on the 28th, but we will have the third place game and the championship game for you. We will have the quarterfinals and the semifinals on the 27th. Our next guest is hoping to be a part of the quarterfinals coverage that we will have on the 27th, and that is the Fairfield Tigers.
Well, I mean, if anybody's paid attention to high school basketball in our state, I believe this is our next guest 23rd year as a head coach. And if you followed high school basketball with Eric Bledsoe, there's been so many great players that our next guest has coached that have played in the NBA, that have played professional basketball. As we said, in his stops as a head coach, he has reached the state finals at every place. With the Parker Thundering Herd, I certainly watched them play for a state championship. Outstanding talents, Walter Sharp, also another great player that played for him. And then we saw them reach the finals. We saw him come to Huntsville at J.O. Johnson High School before they became Mae Jemison, reached a state championship game. And now he has been on a great run with the Fairfield Tigers. He has won 2 5A state championships in his Hall of Fame career. He is now bringing his Fairfield Tigers back, I believe, for the first time since 2019. He brought Fairfield to the tournament, and they're going to try to make history because they could be the first Birmingham area team to win this tournament. We've had so many great ones come here, reach the finals, but not win it because it's a very difficult tournament to win, probably even more so than winning a state title in some ways.
Yeah.
But our next guest has checked off every box in his career, and he's been kind enough to join us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline this morning to talk some Fairfield Tigers basketball, and that's Coach Maurice Ford. Coach, you're with Drew and Scott this morning in Huntsville. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing fine.
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate your time. We just talked to your good friend Frankie Sullivan, who considers you a mentor. You guys have already even faced your first-round opponent earlier this year over in Birmingham. You were able to defeat the James Clemens Jets. What kind of challenge is it to play a team maybe that you've already seen in the first round? That's unusual for a team coming from Birmingham to this event. You usually probably haven't played your first-round opponent, but you've already seen the Jets this year, Coach.
Yeah. I think they came to Birmingham. We had a home-and-home series, and the good thing about it that, Frank and I, we know each other very well, and it's a pro and a con behind that because when they came to Birmingham, Frankie didn't coach. He had an accident. He was
That's right.
I think, and he didn't come, so he wasn't able to coach his team that night. And then the thing about that was we were able to do some things, and the good thing about that, even though he didn't come, we didn't have all our football players, so we only played with 7 guys that night. So now we have everybody back. So it'll be a good matchup, So they were missing something, and we were too. So now both teams should be fully loaded and everything. So they had a coach, and I had the rest of my players.
Coach, how does it feel to be coming back to this City Classic?
Oh, it's good. It's good. Yeah, I think we'll be able to compete some, and hopefully we can, compete in that tournament. I know it's a good tournament. Hopefully we can get the fans what they want to see.
Well, and I know you became very familiar with it in your time here as you coached at J.O. Johnson High School after your storied run at Parker. So you're very familiar with the tournament, what it means to the communities, and it's a great event that I know your kids, I'm sure, are looking forward to the challenge.
Yeah, we are. We like you said earlier, we want to be the first team from Birmingham to come up and try to compete and win. The last time we came, I think when the year we won, we got beat out. Luther Teague beat us that next day, but hopefully we can do a better job this year representing Birmingham.
You mentioned a minute ago that the first time you faced James Clemens, you didn't have your football players, and you kind of played with 7 guys. Did that kind of so now you have your full complement of your roster, and you can do things the full way. But I'm curious, playing with the 7 early, did that kind of help this team kind of get guys maybe that needed to step up? They now have to learn to step up. Now you got your full roster, and does it kind of work that way?
Yeah, it helped us out a lot. We were able to see some things, and then we did some things that we very rarely do. We played zone. Everybody for the first 6 or 7 games, we had to play zone because we only had 7 guys, so we couldn't press. We couldn't get after you like we normally do, so we just sit zone and hopefully you didn't make shots. And we were able to do some things, and we were able to get some guys in that got a lot of playing time and made some shots and played good for us. So able to help us because, like off the team last year, we had 4 starters back.
Right.
So we played with 2. So now, the other 2 are back, and the other guy stepped up. So we were able to do some things now. We have our full complement, so we'll be able to press and run and up-tempo like the way we like to play.
Well, and Coach, I know I've talked to Andy Blackson about this when he was coaching at Madison Academy, and he had a lot of football players, and he used to he considered it almost like 2 different seasons. He would coach the guys he had for the first 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. Then he would get his guys back. Some of them would be a little beat up. They would have to work them back in slowly. How has it been getting your guys back, and how long has it taken them to acclimate, get in basketball shape, and hit the ground running, so to speak?
Well, I always tell people it's the difference between a football player that plays basketball and a basketball player that's playing football. So the 2 guys that I had, my 2 starters, they were basketball players that were playing football. So it's a difference. So they are really true basketball players. Well, one of them, the other one was a quarterback. He's a both, so he's an athlete. My point guard was just helping the football team out, But he really was a basketball player. So now it wasn't hard. It was hard, They still not 100% there, but their athleticism gets them over the hump. So they didn't play like 3 games now. And we won last night, so they were able to do some things. They're getting back in shape and basketball condition. The jump shots are not there, but the athleticism takes over.
How long does that usually take, from in your past experience, getting a football player back ready to play basketball?
I normally say probably like late December, early January when they really hit their stride.
Yeah.
Really hit their stride, because you got to think they've gone for like 3 or 4 months and really hadn't played, hadn't touched the ball or nothing in 3 or 4 months. So it really – but my football coach works with me. I can give him credit for that. He works with me. Like some football coaches don't touch a ball and don't do this and don't do that. But my football coach works with me. My guys will come in. They might do some sprints or, do a few drills, but I don't let them scrimmage. But my guys don't go 3 or 4 months and don't touch a ball. So that's a good thing about it.
Well, and I saw your team this summer. They were very impressive, very athletic. I know if even at that time, I don't think you had all the pieces that you were anticipating having this coming season. And there's also been the challenge of you've won 2 5A titles, but now due to reclassification, you guys have moved down. Are you guys? Is it 4A Area 7 you're competing in, Coach?
We're 4A, right? Correct.
Yes, sir. How has that transition been moving down? I know a lot of coaches like to move up the challenge, but how has it been moving down for Fairfield so far, Coach?
Well, it really is not a problem for us because, even when we play 4A, 5A, we always play up. Our schedule, we're going to play the 6 and 7As around here. We're going to play the Parkers, the Shades Valleys, the Huffmans. So we always play up. So we never just play. Even when we were 5A, we would always play the 6s and stuff around here. So now we're 4. We're still playing 5 and 6s. So only 4s that we play are the 4s that are in our area. And then we'll play midfield, which is a 3, which they can play with anybody. They can play with anybody
yes,
also.
Sir.
So we really, it's even stepping down, our competition level never steps down. We still play the same, we still going to play the 7A. Like, I only lost what's the Hillcrest, which was 7A. We lost in the tournament championship to those guys. But everything we play, like when we come back in January, we got Ramsey. We'll play Rams. We got Shades Valley. So we play up then like we come into Huffman Time. So we're playing 6 and 7As in the Huffman Time. So playing that good competition gets us ready for when we do step down and play the 4A schools.
What's the identity of this team?
Same as last year, man. We're going to get after you. We're going to press. We're going to trap. We're going to get up and down the floor. We big. We big, but we're physical. We're a very physical team. We're going to run. And like I said, we just going to defend. Our image is we just going to defend. We're going to play hard and defend. We're going to defend every possession. That's our thing. We're going to defend you. We're going to press you. We're going to press you almost the whole game. Our thing is to try to get into your bench because I feel like our 7 or 8 guys are better than your 5. So if we can get into your bench, then you got a problem.
Well, and then, Coach, you talked about having 4 starters returning. Let us know about the leaders of your team, and you mentioned a couple of them getting back into basketball shape, but that they've played now 3 games. tell us about some of the leaders on your squad that have played well so far this year for the Fairfield
Yeah,
Tigers.
everybody, if keeping up with it, Milton. Milton kind of makes us go. Milton Jones.
Oh, yeah.
That's our small forward, power forward, center, whatever you want to call him. He's our do-everything guy. Then Milton, we go through Milton. Then we got DeMarcus Williams, who getting a lot of attention from a few, schools I point. But the engine is Jeffrey Duncan, our point guard. So he hadn't played. He's back now. Even when he came back, he had a concussion, so he still missed a couple of football. He got hurt in the last football game, but now he's back. So the little man out front, and then we got Jamari Hampton, which is our glue guy. That's our glue guy. People look at us. He can defend 1 through 5. So he's very athletic. As a matter of fact, he's going to Illinois State to play football. But
nice.
He can defend 1 through 5, and he's very big, physical guy. So and then we have some pieces coming off the bench. We got KJ, Kenneth Benefield, Glenn Thomas, Eric. So we can play about 8 or 9 guys, and I think that's what our depth. That's what makes us pretty good. Because even when we sub, we don't drop off very much. Like some teams will sub and they'll drop off. Mm-hmm. We don't drop off very much with a sub. We can play because our guys are so athletic. They can play multiple positions. So we really can't say here 2, here 3, here 1, here 5. These guys can play multiple positions. They can move around and shuffle everywhere.
Coach, you've coached in this tournament before. Describe it for those. To describe the feeling of playing in the Huntsville City Classic.
Oh, it's just amazing. I was telling my guys because, it's kind of like a bigger version of our Thanksgiving. We have a Thanksgiving tournament, and it's pretty big here too. But our gym is small, so it's
right.
packed. And I was telling our guys, it's just a bigger version of our tournament. The crowd, anticipation, and then by me being in Huntsville, a lot of people know me, so they'll come out just to see. And I was telling my guys, a lot of people just gonna come to see what Fairfield looks like. So it's something. It's amazing. I tell them, if we're fortunate to get to the second round or third round, it'll be something for them to see.
No question. And Coach, as far as your team, I know you said you played last night. How did that go? Who did the Fairfield Tigers face?
We beat Woodlawn last night. We went on the road last night and beat Woodlawn last night. So, and we played well last night. We really did. We jumped out. We jumped out like by 21 points at the half. So we're able to just cruise on in, get the guys some rest because we played 4 games this week. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, we got an area game tonight and Thursday. Then we go to Auburn. Our biggest test, hopefully, will be Saturday night. We're going to Auburn to play Auburn High and play them in Auburn Saturday night.
Yeah,
so that's the 7A school right there that we're going to play.
And Coach, you said you've already started for a Area 7 play.
We start tonight.
Oh, that's tonight. Okay. Who will you face?
We face Indian Springs tonight.
Okay, Indian Springs tonight, getting area play started for the Fairfield Tigers, who are looking to defend their state title, except now they're looking to claim a 4A title to go with the 2 5As that Coach Maurice Ford has won. But a busy week, Coach. A 4-game week. That's a. I know you're getting your guys back into acclimated to playing, but I guess it beats practicing. I know they love to play.
They rather play than practice any day of the week. I've been around so long now, I'd rather play than sit there and practice all day. I'd rather play. But, the guys are rested. We were able to rest them last night. We were able to rest them last night. And hopefully we can get up tonight so we can rest and then be ready for Saturday. And that Saturday game will bring us on up to the Huntsville Time Class, get ready for Frankie.
Well, we certainly know you're going to be ready, and we look forward to seeing the Fairfield Tigers. It's always fun to watch. The athleticism, the speed, and just the tempo that you guys play with and the ferocity. We are honored that you're coming. And it's going to be a game we look forward to, that 1:30 game against the James Clemens Jets with the Fairfield Tigers. So, Coach Ford, we appreciate it. Safe travels, and we look forward to seeing you in a few days. Good luck tonight against Indian Springs as you guys – and let me correct myself. It's a 3 o'clock tip for that James Clemens and Fairfield game. But, Coach, we really appreciate the time. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's get a break in. When we come back, let's give away some more Christmas gifts, shall we? One more time? You ready to do it one more time?
Somebody answer the phone. We're cold calling. Be ready.
We're giving away free stuff next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Had a wreck on the Parkway northbound near Bob Wallace. They called for additional HPD units on that one, so it may take a few minutes to get it all cleared up. And we got a rollover accident, Huntsville-Browns Ferry, east of Mooresville Road. That vehicle apparently ended up back up on its wheels and drove away. I think a Morgan County deputy's checking on it. They may have located the vehicle. Winchester westbound at Homer Nance reported with an injury, but they canceled Himsey. The end of the year is coming. Snelling can help with admin, business support, and accounting. Snelling, how the area's best companies hire talent. Huntsville.snelling.com. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Next time you're online looking for landscaping inspiration, open Instagram and check out Southern Gent Landscaping. They can help make your yard your dream outdoor oasis. Southern Gent Landscaping can handle it all, from landscape maintenance and installation to irrigation and hardscapes, even AstroTurf. Turn your yard into a landscape you'll be proud to show off. Call Southern Gent Landscaping at 256-509-6088. 509-6088. Southern Gent Landscaping. Professional landscaping performed with satisfaction guaranteed.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Bob Baumhauer here. Are you out of ideas for those stocking stuffers? Our selection of delicious signature sauces make great stocking stuffers for that chef of the house. Kick up your favorite holiday dish with our legendary hot sauce. If you enjoy our char-grilled black and white chicken, then grab a bottle of our fabulous legendary white barbecue sauce. Would you like to have a Bam Bam shrimp on your holiday menu? That's easy. Just pick up a bottle of Baumhauer's Thai sweet chili sauce. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
You need a lawyer and pick up the phone. I'm attorney Gary Lackey. When you call for a lawyer, where does that phone ring? My phone rings in my office.
I'm attorney Justin Lackey. My phone rings in my office too.
So does mine. I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. And when you've been hurt and need help, we're the ones who take your call.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Have you ever turned your back on God? Have you ever absolutely known the right thing to do and just turned around and walked away in disobedience? I know that I have. Aren't we thankful for our great and merciful God who loves us and forgives us and remembers our sin no more? I'm so thankful that his mercies are fresh every day. I need that, and I suspect you do too. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, and if you're looking for a church home, come see us. We're smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison, and check us out at cpcfamily.org.
From Coleman to Fayetteville and all points in between.
Son, pull the hammer back. Smokey's coming at you in a plain white wrapper.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Welcome back. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, 8:20 on a Tuesday morning. And we've just been giving away stuff. Anything that's not nailed down to the wall, we're just going to start giving it away.
Good Lord.
We're just going to clean house. Anyway, 256-576-4977. That's the number to the phone lines. You can join us this morning. But we do got to give away one more of our. We've given away. We're going to give away 3 this morning, and then they can give away 3 the next show, and the next show, and the next show. But anyway,
I guess I'll have to have somebody, open the envelope.
Open the envelope. But you are performing your Vanna White duties very well.
I think it's more card sharks is what I'm doing, but that's just going back in the day.
See, you know what? We've missed a golden opportunity.
Did we?
On the show. We did, because there's not too many shows that we can play 80s game show theme.
That was the zenith of game shows.
Card Sharks game show. There we go.
Yeah. And by the way, we lost an icon in the game show host world in the last few weeks too. I think you probably saw that. He was 83 years old.
I did not.
Chuck Woolery.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Time for us to do another giveaway. We're unwrapping gifts this morning here in the 97.7 ESPN The Zone studios. Let's go out to the phone lines, and ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome in Thomas to the show.
What's up, Thomas?
Hey, how are y'all doing today?
We're doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I appreciate y'all having us a flow last night. My boys had a good time.
That's awesome to hear. Man. That's awesome to hear. So here's how it's working. You're going to pick a number between 1 and 10.
But no 5 and no 1.
No, yeah. Number 1 and number 5 have already been taken. So
9 is 10 now on my docket here.
Okay, there we go. So you pick a number. Drew's going to unwrap the gift, and that will be the gift that we are going to give you for attending last night.
All right, let's go with number 7.
7, okay. I found both 9s. One's
There's
10
only
now.
one 9.
Okay, and now here comes number 7. Lucky
number 7. Drew's going to unwrap
sticking
number
together.
7.
3 sticking to 7 here. Got to get all this undone here. Okay, 7, everybody. That's 7.
What is number 7, Drew?
And I'm reading it. It's a Huntsville Havoc ticket voucher. There you go, Thomas.
Awesome.
There it is.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Thomas. Bailey will get you. Stay on the line. Bailey will get you all taken care of. But you, and he'll let you know how to get it and everything else. But you can go see the Huntsville Havoc.
Awesome, guys. Y'all have a good day. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Thomas. Really
All right.
appreciate you and your family coming. So he's going to the Huntsville Havoc.
Yep. So there we go, Bailey. Let's take care of Thomas.
Wow, this definitely started in the 70s. This
There
almost
you go.
sounds like the precursor to the Czar's music.
That's the
for Monday Night Football.
That's Card Sharks.
Is it really?
Yes, that's the Card Sharks. You said it felt like Card Sharks. So
I just don't remember that being the song.
It says Card Sharks full theme song.
Okay.
So that's what we went with. All right, let's go out to the phone lines. Jeff from the Borough is with us. Good morning, Jeff.
Yeah, we got, he hosted Love Connection too, right?
Yeah, Chuck Woolery, he did.
Did he
Absolutely.
really?
Yeah,
He
yeah,
hosted, he hosted
He did.
Love Connection also.
he did.
That along with Wheel of Fortune. So, yeah, so yeah, I guess that was the glory days for game shows. Not too many of them on anymore. So
No, not like that.
No,
I
yeah.
mean, not like the 70s and 80s.
Jeopardy's really good. I like watching that sometimes. I got a friend watching all the time. I like that, but of course the man that was great on that's gone too. Trebek, he's gone too. So he's out here anymore.
We lost Alex Trebek. Yep.
But here a while back. But
And I think Chuck Woolery hosted Wheel of Fortune like back in the 70s when it first came on.
before Pat Sajak. Yeah.
He hosted for Pat Sajak.
Yeah.
Sajak before he did that, he was a weatherman at Channel 4 in Nashville.
Oh wow!
Did not know that. We're going way back.
Yeah, he worked at Channel 4 and Nashville. He did the weather and Channel 4 in Nashville before he got that gig. And then Oprah Winfrey worked at Channel 5 before she got big. She worked at Channel 5 in Nashville before she got to be who she is. So, but yeah, I guess you guys are not excited for the playoffs. I guess you won't be really watching this year.
We'll be watching.
You'll still be watching. I didn't know.
I'll be watching Saturday. Yeah,
Okay. I didn't know.
And then remember, don't forget, the Battle of Indiana's on Friday.
Oh yeah, Friday, Indiana, Notre Dame. I got a friend of mine. He said it's supposed to be pretty cold. I don't know if it's going to snow. He said it's supposed to be pretty cold. He said it might be in the 20s. I don't know if it's going to be snow. I know that here a while back I saw somebody put on X a picture of their stadium with snow covered. Of course, that was a few weeks ago, so I don't know if it's going to be any snow up there, but it's going to be cold. I know Tennessee, when they play Ohio State, it's going to be cold up there too. Of course, I didn't know the coach. They said the coach was from one of them Dakotas, north and
Yeah,
south.
Josh Heupel's from South Dakota.
He probably ain't been there. He probably ain't been there in 35 years. He don't know what cold weather is. Probably been up there since he was grown up. So he don't know nothing about no cold weather in Tennessee. He thinks it's cold down here
here's the
Keep it
thing,
down
though,
there.
and everybody keeps talking about, these football teams, they're not used to playing in the cold. They're not going to like it. Ohio State and Penn State don't play in snow in 20 degrees every game.
No.
They don't do
Yeah,
it.
but they play in more cold weather games than Southern teams do. Come on, don't get me wrong. They
may play one game. They may play 1 or 2 games, if that, in the cold more than what the Southern team. Maybe one.
How many games the Southern games? 0 or half? How many games they play in the cold?
Play one game. I mean, it's not like it's a huge.
They don't play any cold weather.
The thing is yes, your body does take a little bit to get used to being in the cold, okay? It does take a little bit to get in there. Same way when you come down and you're playing. I think, to me, it's worse coming from the cold playing in the hot and humid weather than it is going up and playing in the warmer weather than going playing in the cold. It's easier to adjust playing in the cold than it is to try and do in the hot and the humidity.
Well, I asked the Miami Dolphins last time they won a cold weather game was, 1965? When they win a cold weather game. They've never won one in their history, I don't think, below 40 degrees. So I asked them about playing in cold weather. They can't do it. So they sure can't. They can't play below 40. So I don't know, but we have to wait and see. Like I said, I'm not really. I don't root for the SEC. I'm hoping Oregon and Boise State do good here if they have to play the next round. So I'm hoping they'll do well. The Heisen ceremony was all right with me. I didn't have no problem with it.
We got to just move Kentucky out of the SEC.
I didn't say it.
I am. I mean, hell, he hates the dang league anyway, so let's just move Kentucky out of the league so we don't have to deal with it.
They thought about getting out when Rupp and a few coaches were there because they couldn't recruit black players. They thought about getting out then.
They should have.
They never. They didn't. Well, we ain't got nobody respects my well. We lost few players in the transfer portal in football. Like I said, Jesus is my savior, but Pope's my coach. You see, that's bottom line. 11-1 day we beat Louisville there, didn't we?
Yes, very, very, very.
Who hasn't beaten Louisville over the last couple of years?
Got Ohio State Saturday, so we play them in the Garden. So
well,
is it really? It's in Boston Garden.
No, it's in
Madison Square Garden. I was thinking TD. You're talking about Madison Square in New York City.
Auburn just beat Ohio State like a drum. So.
Oh yeah. I think Kentucky's going to beat them like a drum.
Yeah. I think Bruce Pearl coaches Auburn. Is that right?
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's still cheating, isn't he? I think somewhere. He's still cheating, but he'll learn when he wins a national. So maybe in 2050 he might get one. But y'all hang in there, guys, and enjoy that Auburn Alabama football. Enjoy that Alabama playoff game. See y'all.
Yep.
Well, Jeff, anybody from Kentucky that's talking about somebody cheating and not looking themselves in the damn, in the
enjoy watching Kentucky's bowl game.
Looking at yourself in a mirror and talking about calling somebody a cheater. That's just. How many times has Kentucky basketball been on probation? I think they invented it.
He's going to love watching Kentucky's bowl game this year.
Yeah. Whoops. They did keep Ole Miss out of the playoff, though.
So that they did.
That was their highlight.
That they did.
And they may get Malik Murphy as their next quarterback. I wonder if he wants a Duke Blue Devil being the Kentucky quarterback. How ironic.
Let's get a break in.
I think he's visiting.
Because you know what? There is a lot going on in the transfer portal. As we mentioned, Auburn – just a few minutes ago, it did come out that they are getting a big offensive tackle to help anchor that offensive line. Mason Murphy is coming in from USC, from Southern Cal, not South Carolina.
Right.
I mean, they're still debating on who is the USC. Mason Murphy's coming in. They did pick up a quarterback out of the portal. Auburn did. Another one yesterday from Stanford. Yeah, it's kind of that feeling. But Alabama's had some guys go out. A lot of people asked us, even last night at the party, hey, of all those guys going in there for Alabama, is it something they should be concerned with? And then, Jalen Milroe, we were asked this morning, is he playing? Yes, he is playing, but what's his decision going forward? What is he going to do after the bowl game? Let's get a break in. Alex Scarborough can help us answer a lot of those questions and more next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. Scattered showers and a few thunderstorms stay in the forecast for this Tuesday. Otherwise, expect to see a cloudy sky. High temperatures warming into the low 60s for the afternoon. We'll keep isolated showers in the forecast heading into our Tuesday night. Mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures fall into the upper 50s. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Had a wreck on the Parkway northbound near Bob Wallace. They called for additional units there for traffic control. Got one at Winchester and the Parkway. The only vehicle left in traffic is on Winchester, so should not be affecting Parkway traffic. And we just got one westbound on 565 near the Parkway. I understood that one was an injury type, but I don't see HIMSI on it. And we've got fog still in some areas this morning. Expert heart care backed by advanced technology. When you need cardiac care, you need the heart doctor. Dr. Randall Burns and the team at Huntsville Heart Specialists on Bob Wallace Avenue. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
You could easily say that song is the epitome or represents everything about college football right now. And that is everybody jumping around in the transfer portal. Jump around. Everybody jumping around in the transfer portal. Alabama, you know, they've had guys go into the portal. They're also finding guys, and there'll be some news coming out with Alabama about guys coming into the program as guys are leaving.
Yeah, there's no question about it. You know, it's transfer portal season. There's really no break anymore. Even with signing day continuing to move up, it was on December the 4th. Just 5 days later, the transfer portal opened. It's open until the 28th. We've already talked about how, to me, I don't see how you have them back to back. I think especially when you're having teams trying to prepare for the college football playoff, and we already talked about the Penn State situation, you need to move the transfer portal window so these teams can prepare, and then guys don't have to be thinking about that when their team is trying to compete for a national title. But our next guest certainly has covered the SEC and the University of Alabama for a long time. He's a big part of Bama 247, like myself and several others who cover the SEC, cover the University of Alabama. I'd be surprised if he got a ton of sleep last night. It was really an interesting day, a day of a lot of departures from the Alabama program, a day of angst because of the situation with Jalen Mbakwe, which was really, to me, the first surprise that we saw go into the transfer portal. But we're going to talk about that and more with our next guest. And, of course, that's Alex Scarborough, senior writer for Bama 247, and he's been kind enough to join us this morning on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. And, Alex, how apropos, right before you join us, yet another player jumps in the portal, and that's defensive lineman Damon Payne.
It never ends. You talked about getting sleep. At a certain point, you just have to call it.
Yeah.
And say, I'll see what happens when I wake up in the morning.
Right.
And then a couple hours later, you get even more news. So it's as soon as you think you have a situation nailed down, it kind of eludes you. So it is what it is. I think Alabama fans are, just buckle up, understand that really at the end of the day, you haven't really lost a starter yet.
I tried to explain that yesterday, and people were just really not understanding.
Yeah, so, I mean, you look at the names that have gone in,
Yeah.
and you mentioned they haven't lost any starters, but, I mean, is there anyone there that kind of surprises you among those that have gone in?
The only player I think they would have liked to convince to come back and really didn't have much of an opportunity to was Devontae Smith.
Yes.
A guy you wanted with some experience at that Husky position, played pretty well, has battled injuries throughout his career, had his reasons for leaving, it's understandable in some cases, but that's the only player you look at and you go, man, that would have been a little bit tough. Mbakwe even, look, great player, really gifted athlete, but at the end of the day, if a backup is asking for starter money, you have to draw a line in the sand somewhere. If a backup is saying I need to get starting reps, and it's just not there with the expectation that Damani Jackson's probably coming back. Xavier Brown really played, I think, held his own as a true freshman. What do you do there? There's really not. It's the hardest part right now for every coach in America, and I think Kirby Smart spoke to this at one point, is building and sustaining depth on your roster. And honest to God, I don't know how you do it. If you can't do it at a place like Alabama, it's really hard to do it anywhere else. So no surprises, no huge surprises yet, even though we're kind of going through it with Mbakwe.
Well, and then with Mbakwe, there was a cryptic Instagram post from Ryan Williams. Is this situation finished yet, I guess is the best way for me to say, because we've already seen Danny Lewis go into the portal, one of the backup tight ends, and he has been the first that we've seen reverse course and take his name out of the portal, at least for now, and stay.
Yeah, the portal is open-ended, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you I've got a bunch of reporting on Mbakwe that says here's what's changed in the last 12 hours. But I'll tell you that things can change quickly.
Yes.
And that if Alabama's collective wants to step up and make those commitments, then maybe they find a way to bring him back. It's obvious to anybody who's watched Alabama football, followed social media, that Ryan Williams and Jalen Mbakwe are very close. And that, finding a way to keep those two together would be preferable. But again, when you're a head coach, it's not even so much about the pot of money you have to draw upon to pay players and allocating that. Some of it is about your locker room too, and saying, look, how much can I pay a guy? Can I pay a guy more to sit on the bench than I am to start? I don't know the answer to that in today's era of college football, but it's something these coaches are having to grapple with.
One of the answers we do know, and it was a question that we got answered last week, and that is Jalen Milroe is going to play in the bowl game. It's after the bowl game. His future, we think it's going to the NFL, but we don't know yet, right?
I reported yesterday that all indications are he will announce to go to the NFL after the game. That is where this thing has been headed, and continues to be that direction. A sense that, look, you're you guy who started 2 years, a lot of production, that he's done about all he can do in the college game, and he's got the traits that I think are going to be very attractive to the NFL. I did have a source caution me, though, that while that characterization that that's where the direction is headed, the NFL, that he said, look, there is a final decision will not happen until after the bowl game, when he makes his official announcement. So my expectation is that's the direction it's going to head, and Alabama, at the very least, Alabama will be in a different circumstance at quarterback going into next season. He's still going to play in the game, but I think he's bound for the NFL.
And then I know your colleague, Cody Goodwin, had an article about the quarterback room, what's left there. we know that Dylan Lonergan has departed, but it looks like they're satisfied to go with a three-way dance into spring practice. Is that what you're hearing, Alex?
Yeah, I think ideally they'd like to get one more quarterback in there. I just don't know what the fit would be, because you don't want to send a message to the guys in that room that you don't believe them, because they do. They really like Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
They really like Austin Mack. They really like Keelan Russell. So it's a tricky dance where it's like, man, ideally you carry 4 quarterbacks, because not only you want just depth for obvious reasons, you want them for practice reps too, and be able to help your whole team practice at a higher level. But I think there's no doubt that in my mind right now, Ty Simpson's the front runner to be the starting quarterback. He was the clear backup to Jalen Milroe this year, has really good traits in terms of athleticism, really has a little bit of more of a gunslinger's mentality where he's going to try to fit the ball into tight windows. I really like that about him. And he's a coach's kid, and he really gets after it. So I think he's the favorite. And then you got to really, man, the more you talk about Keelan Russell, the more you get more excited you get about what he can bring to the table. Very curious to see what he looks like in the spring. Not can he beat out, Ty Simpson in the spring, but just how he handles the adjustment to college. Does he have a firm grasp of the playbook? Is he physically ready? If he can do those things, then you start to wonder what it looks like in fall camp. So Alabama's in a good spot with those 3 quarterbacks. I do wonder if they try to go out and find a 4th for some depth, but I don't think they necessarily have to go that route.
Will they go out and find depth along both lines, the offensive line and the defensive line?
Yeah, I think they're going to try to find a couple of pieces there. I mean, getting Parker Brailsford back was obviously huge on the offensive line. I expect Jaden Roberts to return as well. So you've got some really good pieces where all you're really looking at is how do you replace Tyler Booker at that guard position. And you already have Geno Vandermark, who I thought played at a pretty high level. I hesitate to say he came off the bench because he played so many reps as a swing guy, the backup to Brailsford at guard at center, and the backup to Jaden Roberts at guard. I thought he held his own, and maybe he can compete for a job. Or you look at those, true freshmen who came in like a Michael Carroll. Can they step in and be a guy on the offensive line? And I think the more pressing issue is defensive line. Damon Payne leaving further exacerbates that need. Who are you going to get up front? Can you go get somebody up front who can be a disruptor? Because I think that was the biggest thing that limited what Kane Womack wanted to do defensively. Was it was very hard for them to get into the backfield in one-on-one matchups up front. And I'm not primarily talking about the defensive line here, but that also applies to Wolf, that also applies to Bandit, and just having guys who can win one-on-one matchups. So I think ideally they'd like to go find that guy in the portal and bring somebody in who can be a difference maker. The only thing I caution folks is they're looking at names there. If the hardest thing to find in the portal, the thing you're going to have to pay the most for, is a defensive lineman.
Yes.
Consistently, that's been the thing we've heard for people like me who kind of looked into those things. It's very hard to find those guys, and it costs a lot to get them. So we'll see if the right guy comes along at the right price point for Alabama. Very curious how that plays out. And I haven't seen anybody come in to the portal yet where you're like, oh, they got to go get that guy. But we're only a week into this thing, and then the portal even extends further for teams that are in the playoff who are going to have their seasons go on into January.
Well, and then I know you also reported, and this would be big yesterday, that a couple of guys that I know have the decision to make, but cornerback Domani Jackson, the transfer from USC, and then LT Overton, who had a lot of bright moments at that bandit spot from Texas A&M, are at this point likely to return.
Yeah, I would characterize it as trending in that direction. It's not. I wouldn't say it's a done deal.
Right.
But I think that's what fans can sort of look for. They're both fringe NFL guys. Damani's played, I think, at a really high level this year. I don't know why he wasn't on more all-SEC teams, quite frankly. You didn't see him get burned a whole lot. I think he was sort of suffering a little bit from the USC association.
No question.
So you get him, but he's not a guy who you see on a lot of first or second round mock drafts. So I think he has an opportunity to come back, play his way into that conversation. And then LT Overton was another one, I think even more so because he flashed at times, but he did not sustain, in my opinion. And even more than that, I've never seen a guy covering Alabama in, 12, 13 years now, who came so close to so many sacks. It was unbelievable. He affected the quarterback. Nick Saban would have loved it. He would have hated me fixating on a sack as a statistic. He always hated that. But he was always about 4 inches shy of getting a sack. Can he come back, spend another year in the weight room developing? Because remember, he changed positions in the spring. Can he spend another year in the weight program, another year more comfortable in the new position, and make that 4-inch, 6-inch difference from being close to getting a sack to getting a sack? And then you're looking at a guy who I think can be first or second round type ability. And those are two guys I think Kane Womack should be really excited about. If he gets them back, that you've got some not just veteran player, but potential difference makers coming back on defense.
You know, we've been talking now for about 15 minutes. We've talked about players going in. We've talked about players going out. Not even one mention about the fact that they're taking on Michigan in a bowl game, and bowl game prep is underway. I mean, that's just...
Does anyone care?
I
does
know,
anyone
that's
care
the
about
point.
the outcome of this game?
Yeah.
It's like we forget they're actually playing in a game.
Look, I think bowls are going to have the bowl, committee or whatever they call themselves now. They rebranded to bowl season as if that was going to solve it, like they were, Crystal Coke or whatever it was back in the day. Like you can call it a different name, but right now we're in this era where if you're not in the playoffs, it doesn't matter. You're looking at glorified exhibitions where the most fans can get out of it is try and get a sneak peek at guys who are going to be a difference maker next year. So really, that's the only thing I can point fans to. Is like, who cares about the final score?
Yeah.
Can you watch a guy like Ty Simpson go in and get meaningful reps? I think there's an opportunity if Alabama jumps out to a lead that he can Jalen can symbolically pass the baton to him. Daniel Hill at running back. Can you see a little bit more what he's capable of? A guy like Red Morgan on defense who played a lot early, didn't play so much late. Can he get on the field? You're kind of looking at it like an A-Day, quite frankly. And I guess what helps is for Alabama on the other side of things is that Michigan's had a lot of opt-outs too, a lot of guys facing injury. I don't know what they're going to look like. You already know that Mason Graham's not going to be a part of this game. Will Johnson probably not with his injuries. Colston Loveland probably not with his injuries. They already got an opt-out at quarterback with Orji. I have no idea what they're going to look like. I have no idea what Alabama's going to look like, but maybe there's a few players we want to watch.
Well, I mean, speaking of players, though, I know you had a chance to sit down with Courtney Morgan. What was his thoughts on his first full cycle in recruiting class at Alabama, the 21 guys they signed?
Overall, I think he's really pleased. I think there's a competitive side of him that would have loved to have finished first and felt like maybe they left a little bit of meat on the bone, but they did the thing you're supposed to do, which is meet their needs. I mean, they went out, they got a quarterback, they did great work on the offensive line. They got a couple of good defensive linemen. I think the addition of Ivan Taylor in particular, not the guy you look like at the top of the top of the class, but they really wanted a safety. I felt like they were missing that piece. Courtney told me, loved Ivan Taylor, had him in the summer, thought they might get a commitment out of him. He committed to Michigan, and they just continued to stay on him and continued to foster that relationship to the point that once they got him to the Georgia game, it really sort of solidified that, and he really wants to be here. They figured out a way to work that out. And, I always like, look at Dallas Turner, former sons of former pro athletes. And Ivan's father was Ike Taylor, the former NFL player. You love the work ethic, but also he's got the traits as a guy who can play both safety positions, really instinctual. I really like the way this class came together, A.K. Deere, the running back as well. And then the receivers, they really love the traits that Derek Meadows brings to the table. Just freaky was the word that Courtney told me to describe his ability as a burner that is also 6'5", 6'5", and can move side to side and has lateral quickness. Some questions about his production in high school, but as Courtney told me, they had 4 Power 4 offensive linemen. You'd be an absolute fool as a coach not to run the football when you have that scenario. So excited to see how he develops. And then Lotsier Brooks, the New Jersey receiver, 3-star. Courtney told me I have no idea what these ranking services are doing. This dude is scary with the football in his hands. I think they've got the right mix of guys, high-end 5 stars, but also guys where they really trust their evaluation. So really good-looking class on paper.
Well, great stuff from Alex Scarborough. Please read him. Tell everybody how to connect with you and your coverage over there at Bama 247, sir.
Yeah, start at Bama247.com. It is coming. We have stories and posts on our message board. It feels like every 5 minutes the way things are going right now. Transfer portal tracker. I think we got a 50% off deal right now. You know, we got myself covering it, Brent Greenberg, who does a terrific job on the recruiting side following all these things, Mike Rodak, Cody Goodwin, Kirk McNair. It is a great team. Definitely go sign up. And we cover basketball and everything else, too. So you really get it all.
Appreciate it,
thanks,
sir.
Alex.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
If only there was a college football coach that could stand up at the podium and say, you know what, if we do the playoffs this way, we're going to devalue the bowl games.
I don't know. Was his name Nick Saban?
Oh, my goodness. Let's get that final break in.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
At Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, our focus is to always offer you the perfect combination of good times and great food. And when you're ready for a great meal, or when it's just time to take a break from all the holiday hustle and bustle, come into Bad Daddy's and enjoy one of our premium award-winning Angus beef burgers, signature cocktail, or a cold draft beer. From all of us at Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, we hope you have a safe and happy holiday season. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar on the Parkway in Huntsville and Cliff Farm, Highway 72 in Madison. From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
There we go. Welcome back. Again, coming up tonight, you do get college football. You'll have a bowl game tonight. College football playoffs will resume on Friday and Saturday. In the meantime, you've got college basketball coming up. UAH will play on Thursday and Saturday. They are at home. Mississippi College, Delta State making their way inside Spraggins Hall. And then you also have Alabama and Auburn coming up as well this week.
Yeah. Auburn will be playing Georgia State on Saturday. Alabama at North Dakota tomorrow.
Yes,
with
that
Grant
is
Nelson.
Yes, that is to take care of Grant Nelson for his time in a Tide uniform.
And then Sunday they will return to Coleman Coliseum against Kent State.
By the way, Vanderbilt is 9-1. Just in case you're wondering, Vanderbilt is off to a 9-1 start. They're taking on the Citadel tomorrow, and then Michigan will welcome Oklahoma.
And I know this will be a shock. This is being reported by Matt Zenith, the 24/7 Sports colleague of Alex Scarborough. Texas A&M defensive line, or excuse me, let me correct myself because Freddie Roach couldn't get any defensive linemen. Texas A&M offensive line transfer Cam Dewberry and ex-Utah and Michigan cornerback Cameron Calhoun are visiting Alabama today. So an offensive lineman, a defensive back. You heard Alex talk about the needs in the portal. Alabama also getting some visits.
TJ Finley found his 100th school
Johnny boy!
He's going to Tulane.
That one shocked me a little bit.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is "We show up." Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to